Before your artificial intelligence vendor ever sends you a proposal, the negotiation has already started. The demonstration, the benchmark, the free trial, the executive briefing, the proof of concept. Every one of them has a purpose. Get inside your enterprise. Become useful. Become integrated. Become difficult to replace. And then, negotiate. Master AI negotiations. The vendor needs you more than you think. Here is mistake number 1. Negotiating artificial intelligence like software as a service. It isn't. Traditional software gives employees tools. Artificial intelligence increasingly performs work. And autonomous artificial intelligence agents may eventually initiate transactions, manipulate systems, communicate with customers, and make operational decisions. You aren't merely licensing software anymore. You may be negotiating for digital labor. That changes everything. Never begin an artificial intelligence negotiation by asking, "What's your best price?" You just told the vendor what matters to you, price. They can give you price. 30% discount? Wonderful. In exchange, perhaps they want 3 years, guaranteed consumption, limited termination, automatic renewal, and enough integration that 18 months from now you cannot realistically leave. Congratulations. You won the discount. They won the account. This is why the proof of concept may be procurement's most powerful artificial intelligence negotiation weapon. Stop treating it as a technology audition. Treat it as evidence. If the vendor claims 40% productivity improvement and your controlled proof of concept proves 18, don't negotiate against 40. Negotiate against 18. If the sales presentation promises 70% automation, but 30% of transactions still require human intervention, price the humans back into the equation. The proof of concept should destroy assumptions before those assumptions become contractual commitments. The vendor wants to negotiate the unit that makes the vendor money. Seats, tokens, application programming interface calls, compute, agent actions, premium models. You should negotiate the unit that makes your enterprise money. What did artificial intelligence actually accomplish? If an agent processes 10,000 transactions but successfully completes only 7,000, why are you negotiating the price of 10,000 actions? Start moving the conversation toward cost per successful business outcome. Make the economics speak your language, not theirs. Then, dissect the invoice. Artificial intelligence pricing can hide complexity behind simplicity. Ask exactly what makes the meter move, and then ask the questions suppliers hate. What happens when the underlying technology becomes cheaper? If inference economics fall dramatically over the next 2 years, does your price fall? Or does the vendor quietly keep the difference? Negotiate downward price mechanisms, volume tiers, usage alerts, consumption ceilings, reallocation rights, and protection against runaway autonomous consumption. Because an artificial intelligence agent that can spend money should never have an unlimited corporate credit card. Next, your data, inputs, outputs, prompts, documents, customer information, retrieval data, usage patterns, feedback. None of it should quietly become the hidden currency funding somebody else's artificial intelligence advantage. The starting position should be simple: no training, no fine-tuning, no generalized model improvement, no unauthorized third-party use, no ambiguity. Your artificial intelligence vendor may not actually control the artificial intelligence stack you are buying. Ask what sits underneath it. Which foundation model? Which cloud? Which sub-processors? Which external tools? Which data sources? Which agent frameworks? And what happens when any of them change? You negotiated with vendor A, but vendor A may depend on vendors B, C, D, and E. If they can change your risk, you need visibility. Traditional contracts assume the product remains reasonably identifiable. Artificial intelligence destroys that assumption. The model can change, behavior can change, performance can change, safety controls can change, and economics can change. So negotiate material change notification, regression testing, performance baselines, rollback rights where feasible, and remedies when material changes degrade the service. Your contract cannot remain frozen while the product underneath it mutates. Then ask the uncomfortable question: what happens when the artificial intelligence does something wrong? Not merely when the software crashes, when the agent acts, sends, approves, rejects, purchases, publishes, deletes, or communicates. Traditional intellectual property indemnification does not magically solve autonomous operational risk. Define accountability, define authorized actions, define human intervention, define audit logs, define liability, define the kill switch. Never deploy autonomy faster than you negotiate accountability. Now we reach the clause that determines who owns the next negotiation. Exit. Negotiate the divorce before the marriage. Data export. Prompt portability where appropriate. Configuration portability. Workflow migration. Transition assistance. Deletion certification. Reasonable termination rights. And interoperability wherever commercially practical. Why? Because your greatest negotiation weapon isn't your purchasing volume. It isn't your brand. It isn't even your chief procurement officer. It is this: the vendor genuinely believes you can leave. Think about every artificial intelligence negotiation through 3 dimensions: value, control, exit. Value asks, does this actually produce measurable economic benefit? Control asks, who controls the data, behavior, economics, and change? Exit asks, can we replace it without reconstructing the enterprise? At the center sits the only thing that matters when negotiations become difficult: leverage. AIPOC read. Expose dependency before signing anything material. What can this supplier control tomorrow that you control today? AIPOC yellow. Prove the value. Benchmark competitors. Measure reality. Turn evidence into negotiating leverage. AIPOC green. Scale conditionally. Protect portability. Benchmark continuously. And preserve alternatives. Artificial intelligence vendors understand something every board needs to understand. Their leverage increases after adoption, after integration, after your employees depend on them, after workflows depend on them, after customers depend on them, and especially after leaving becomes painful. So don't wait until renewal to discover who has the power. Negotiate while you still have it. Mastering artificial intelligence negotiation isn't about beating the supplier. Good suppliers should make money. Great suppliers should become strategic partners. But partnership without leverage isn't partnership. It's dependency. Prove before committing. Own your data. Control the economics. Contract for failure. Preserve alternatives. And negotiate your exit while everybody still believes you'll never need it. The best artificial intelligence contract isn't the one that gets you in cheaply. It's the one that prevents the vendor from becoming too expensive to leave. Master the risk, master the proof of concept, master the negotiation. Visit the YouTube channel AIPOC Powered and explore the enterprise artificial intelligence framework at www.aipoc.ai.